this is Ginny Burney talking, and I am the Advocacy Chair for IAG. And I would like to have a little instruction on how you might conduct a meeting with your legislator, just to show you that it's not difficult, and there are just a few basic things that you would want to cover in a meeting with your legislator. This could be either your representative or your senator to the Indiana General Assembly. First, you would contact them and ask them for a meeting. They might suggest that you come to an office in the district, or perhaps meet you at a coffee shop or somewhere, and you would be asking to talk with them for just about 15 minutes. That's plenty of time to get your point across, and not so much that they have to plan a particular time in their schedule. When you introduce yourself, you will first want to thank them for being a part of the Indiana General Assembly. This is quite an imposition on their time, and you appreciate the fact that they are representing you. You also want to thank the General Assembly for supporting high ability education. In 2007, they passed a mandate that requires all Indiana school districts to identify and provide services for students with high ability, K through 12. In addition, that year, the General Assembly doubled the funding for high ability education. It is a separate line item in the state budget, and we have appreciated the budget, and we have appreciated the requirement for services. Since 2007, there's been quite a bit of progress, and the purpose of your meeting with your legislator is to thank them for the past support of the Indiana General Assembly, and to give them a bit of an update on services as you know them for high ability students, and to ask them for their help in protecting those services and the funding for high ability education. So you have a short and sweet purpose, and we'll have a little role play now in which Christy Spears Newmeister will play the part of a legislator, and I will play the part of an IAG advocate. And I'll show you, hopefully, how simple this is. Hello, Dr. Newmeister. Thank you so much for meeting with me. My name is Ginny Burney, and I wanted to meet with you today to discuss high ability education in Indiana. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome. As your representative, I'm always interested to hear what you have to say.
Well, first of all, I really appreciate the fact that the Indiana General Assembly has been very supportive of education for high ability students in Indiana, and the fact that there is dedicated funding in the state so that the needs of these students can be met. Granted, the districts usually say that it's not enough funding, but there is a dedicated line item in the state budget for this, and I really appreciate the General Assembly for providing that for us. I did want to give you a little bit of an update since that requirement was new in 2007. I would like to give you a little bit of an update about where we are with those services. First of all, the districts are changing in Indiana. That really did get everybody's attention in 2007, so people are paying attention to their high ability services. We're not nearly where we should be, but there's renewed emphasis on advanced placement, for example, at the high school level, and some districts have been able to have programs that have never had services before. For example, in our district here, and then you would give information about the local school district and what the services are for high ability students at this point in the conversation, so they could have some local information. And then you would proceed after that. But you would say, I really think that it's important for Indiana to try to encourage these students to be all they can be, and to develop the academic talent that we have here in Indiana. We know that the jobs of the future require more and more students to be college educated, and we need to train our future leaders for Indiana. We need to do it because it's the right thing to do for the student, but it's also the right thing to do for our state.
Can you tell me a little bit about evidence that schools are using the money appropriately that they've been given? Is there any progress that's already been made?
Well, the Indiana Department of Education does require that the school district submit a report annually accounting for how that money was used that they are provided with from the state. And it has to be used very specifically for high ability education. It's difficult to measure how effective the services are because we don't have good measures for above grade level performance, but we're trying to move in that right direction through the growth model and so forth that the Indiana Department of Education is encouraging. Also, advanced placement results are an indicator. Now, Indiana is well below the national average and below our neighboring states, but there's effort that we're moving in the right direction. It's a slow process, but I think we are moving. It's a matter of developing the pipeline all the way from kindergarten up through high school, so it'll take a while before we can see some of the results, but we need to start that in kindergarten.
Did you bring with you any sort of data points that I can look over?
Yes, I do have some data points for you, and those are on the IAG website for you to download and be able to take with you if you'd like to have some particular data points. But anyway, the thing that I would like to ask for your help with is that in this economic time, sometimes they're looking for things to ways to cut expenditures for schools, or ways to provide more flexibility for schools in terms of the spending of their funds. And we think it's really important that the money that is set aside for high ability education is maintained for that purpose. So it is our hope that that line item can remain in the state budget and that our funding can be protected so that we can continue to develop the performance of those students who have abilities above grade level, as well as students who are performing below grade level. So just if you can protect that funding for high ability students and maintain it as a separate line item, that would really be helpful for these students.
Thank you for coming, and the information you provided me is certainly enlightening, and I will do what I can to help out.
I appreciate that. I'll be in touch, and if you ever need any information about high ability education, or if you need to know about educational issues that you aren't able to find out the information about for one reason or other, please contact me. And if I don't know what the information is, I'll be glad to try to see if I can find a source for information to give you. So thank you very much. I really appreciate your service to the citizens of our district too.
Thank you.